All right, so here we are in chapter 4, talking about correlation, scatter plots. In section 2, we have the least squares regression line. And then in section 3, we have the coefficient of determination. So there's a problem that we can look at in section 2, this is number 9, that will let us explore those ideas, and I can get you to be able to find these values in StatCrunch. It's asking us to find the least squares regression line, treating weight as the explanatory, so that's the x, and the miles per gallon as the y. So I am going to look at my data here. So here's my data, and now I'm going to open it in StatCrunch. Here it comes. So here's our data. Now, if I just wanted to find the correlation coefficient, you can do that by going to Stat, Summary Stat, and Correlation. Now, I'm not going to recommend this. I'll tell you why in a minute. But we click on this one, and we also want the other one. So we hit Control, and then we can get both of them highlighted. And I hit compute, and out comes this correlation value, negative 0.8856. So it's negative, it has a negative linear relationship. 0.88 seems to be pretty strong for 11 different points. And so we probably can say it has a good negative linear relationship. Now, what I'm going to suggest that you do when you're doing these problems, either from section 1, section 2, or section 3, is I'm going to go to Stat and go down to Regression. With the regression, if we're just doing a simple linear, which is what we're doing, we type in our x variable, which they said is weight, and then the y variable was miles per gallon. There's all these different things we could do to it, a hypothesis test, a confidence interval. In this course, I really don't believe we do that. There's some predictions of y that we actually could be doing, but this will give you everything that you need. Weight is our x, miles per gallon is our y. So I'm going to hit compute, and up comes all this information that StatCrunch gives us. Now, first thing that we can look at, I'm going to zoom in, which this seems scary, so just bear with me. Wow. Okay, we're in there a little bit better. Here's my equation. Y equals, there's my y-intercept, 40.867773, minus, this is my slope, times my x variable, weight. So when we type this information in, this is our y-intercept, and this is our slope. So this gives me my line of best fit. It's the equation of my least squares regression line. Notice it also gives me my correlation coefficient, which we found doing something else, and it also gives me my r squared value, which is the number that you're going to use in section 3. What we have to be able to do is understand what these values mean. And so that's the part that I want you to read about and then ask me questions about if you need to. So we have y-intercept, right? And they tell you down here, this is my intercept, here's my slope. We have the correlation coefficient, the negative 0.88, and we have the r squared value. So this will give us pretty much all the information that we need to do section 1, 2, and 3. For a visualization, I'm going to slide over to the next page. And here's a scatter plot of the data, and here is actually my line of best fit. So that's in there. So you can get a visualization of what's going on. We see that my y-axis is miles per gallon, and my x-axis is weights, the weight in pounds. So we get the visualization of what's going on, and we actually get the equation of that line of best fit. It's right there, right? So we have our equation, we have our correlation value, we have our r squared, and that's information that we need for section 1, 2, and 3.